Welcome to the Intune Guitar Academy. In this session we're going to be talking a little bit more about songwriting. We're going to continue on with my theme of songwriting. In the last video concerning songwriting, I talked about the different equipment that was required. Computer monitor, sound monitors, which are behind here up on the hutch, the laptop, of course, the headphones that are required. The reason why I need headphones is that when I'm recording other tracks, I have to listen to the tracks that were recorded before through headphones, because if I try to play it back through the monitors, it will pick up the other tracks and record them. So if I want to isolate the music that I've already recorded and record a track on top of what I've already done, then I need to listen to the playback through monitors. So through headphones, I mean. So that's why I need the headphones here. And the ones that I got are studio headphones. They're wired, as you see. They're not wireless. So they're made for this type of application where you're actually working in studio. It's not really a studio, it's just in my home, but the same type of idea applies. You want something that gives you a very steady, not colored sound, so it's just true to the music that you've produced. So last session we picked out our beat, our actual drum track. So if you remember, I picked classic rock, just a very basic classic rock. I find it a little bit slow. You can see that on this program I can speed up the tempo. So I'm speeding it up to 100 beats per minute. It originally came out as 95 beats per minute. I found it a bit slow. And then you can see also that, just going to turn that off, you can also see that I've made the track just over 100 bars. So we just back that up. And then going back to the different elements of songwriting, we need, well, we don't need to, but I like to have an intro. We like to have an intro, then the main verses, chorus, some more verses, another chorus, then a bridge, something like that. And then I need space for a guitar solo. And then we do the outro. So we're just going over the different sections of what a song would sound like, what a song would come together as. So the one trick that I do, and maybe it's a little bit cheating, but when I do my intro, I'll record it on one of the tracks, and I'll have the drum beat behind me, just so that my intro is the same rhythm as the rest of the song. And then in post-production, I'll just delete that drum bit, because I just want the intro to be just my guitar on its own, and then I'll just start I'll edit it so that the drum beat starts at the verses. And just a little trick that I always use, because I just want to make sure that the intro is at the same rhythm as the rest of the song. So I've got my guitar here. Take it off the stand, and I'm a little wrapped up. I don't have a whole lot of room here, so I try to make do with what I have. And as always, I like to have my strap, because I don't want to struggle with the guitar shaking around and slipping down. So remember, we're doing something in the key of G, so we want to remember that the chords are the chords that are native to the key of G are G, of course, then A minor, B minor, C, D, and E minor, which can also be played up here, and then also F sharp. F sharp is right here, F diminished. So I'm not going to really use the F. I'm just going to stick to G, C, D, A minor, and B minor. So how do we arrange that? Well, the typical 1-4-5 would be G, C, and D. For our intro, we can do something like D, C, and G, some type of arrangement, and then go into E minor, and then resolve back to the G. But again, we have to do it along with the beat. So just turn it on. We'll figure something out. We can do like 1, 2, 3, 4, and that would match. Those are the right chords, but we want to do something a little different for the intro, so we can do something like arpeggiate. Arpeggiate just means I'm playing the strings one by one. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that would be our intro, and then the rest of the song would be something like. 2, 3, 4. Well, let's try something. So we just lay some tracks down. Stop this for a second and rewind. So I've plugged my guitar in. I had it on mute, so I put the mute off, and then I can hear that. I can see on the actual output through the recording program, the DAW, I can see that my sound is coming through, that the guitar is coming through. The level's not quite right, so I have to adjust the level. And just make sure that our levels are right, and then I'll just turn up the gate a little bit. You can check on the mixer. Anyway, so the different settings on the computer, we have library, mixer, sound, and project. I like to keep it on library. I like the layout. So let's try the intro, and I'm going to actually slow this back down again to 95, because I found the 105, the 100 was maybe a little bit too fast. So as you can tell, I can adjust the tempo, which is the advantage of recording through computer, is that you can adjust the tempo like that. And then we go, so now I'm armed, and I press record. And it doesn't matter when I start, I just start when I feel ready. And you can follow along with the So if you're happy with that, then you can listen back, listen to it again, and just speed that up. Okay, so I'm not quite happy with the sound. It's a little bit too quiet. I'll turn the gate up and then see how so that will be better. And then I found the drums were a bit too hot, so turn the drums back down and spread this out a bit. And then we go back to the beginning. Oh, and click here. So now I'm back to the beginning of the song again. And I change this to playback through the headphones. There you go. Okay, so I put my headphones on because I was picking up the drum beat through the track 1 at the same time. So I have to turn. I just did an experiment and I found the drums a bit too hot. So I turn this back down, and we're gonna try doing our intro, and I follow along with the bars. Okay, so that's not bad for for the intro, and so I'll just play that back for you, and I hit rewind all the way like that, and then so that you can hear it through the video, I change the playback to USB out, and we'll hear this and see what it sounds like. That's not bad, so we're just going to cut it off so quick, let that fade out, and then I'm going to pick it up, just back this up a bit. Oh yes, the snap 2 bar, I have to change that to say half notes. Pick that up right there, and I'll put my marker here, and we'll continue on with the rest of the song. So now we've got our intro, and I'll do G, C, and D type of thing, and I'll just make it up as I go along. So I'll put my sound output back to playback speakers headphones because I don't want to pick it up on the playback. Click OK. It's one of the things, I don't know what it's like with other DAWs, but this is one of the things I don't like about Mixcraft, is that I have to keep playing around like that back and forth to get the playback. So it might be easier if I just did a separate track instead of trying to pick it up there. So what I'll do is I'll trim this. So I grab it here, whoops, grab it there, and that'll be our trim point. I'll put this right to the beginning, and as I said, I just trim this down to number 7, so that way the drums start picking up just about when this is fading out, and I'll fade this in. So if I grab here, I can make it fade in. So you notice how I drop the volume down so that the drums fade in. So I'm going to do disarm this one, and then we go on this track. And that way I can add in the rest of the song as it plays back. So here we go. I'm following along with the visually, that's why I have this monitor, it makes it easier for me. And then we're going to stop it there. And let's see, we'll play that back, see how that sounds, see if I'm happy with that one. So again, I have to go in here into that gear looking symbol, the icon. My computer's running so slow tonight. And we'll do the playback back to the USB out so I can hear it through the monitors. And we'll play it back. Here it goes. And then right around here you'll see that the drums are going to start fading in. I just changed it up a bit just to make it different. Okay, well, I'm clipping way too much, so I'm going to turn the drums down a bit. and turn down the master a little bit because I noticed as the drums are playing I'm clipping. So I'm not going to do a full song. I'm just going to add in, say, normally I'd go and get my bass and plug in a bass, so we can do like a bass run. And I'm just showing you how you can add in extra tracks. So just for continuity, I bring this all the way back. And so when I render this down to an MP3, I don't want to hear any noise. So that's why I shorten that little bit up. I just clear that little space out. And then, so I'll just improvise the bass as I go along. So here's our intro. So there's no bass, nothing else, just the intro, just the acoustic guitar on its own. Oh, sorry about that. I made a mistake. I forgot to change this back to... So if you make a mistake like that, you just click undo and remember to go back to the beginning. I have to change my output to headphones, so I'm hearing the sound in my headphones. Click OK. And if you used Mixcraft, you could use one of their bass runs if you wanted to, but if you play your own bass like I do, then you just make up. So I have a Fender P bass, so normally I would plug it in through my... too many wires. I would plug it in through this device here. It's the Sansamp YYZ Tech 21 NYC. It's Geddy Lee signature bass pedal. Well, it's not a bass pedal. It's a DI pedal. So it's got its own preamp. So you can plug it direct in and just use it as a bass instead of using a big bass amp. So let's start this back up again. So as you can see, it's doing the intro part. And wait till I'm covering the verses. And I'm going to do just a fake bass here. So now that I've just done in like a bass, like I said, normally I would use my actual bass guitar to do that. So I want to add in an extra track. So track manager, add track, so add an audio track, and I want to do, say, a chugging electric guitar. So I would, again, I'm just for demonstration purposes, and I want this above the master, so it's for just easier to follow. And then so I grab a pick. So I'm just hearing the intro right now. So that's just a quick, just something I just made up. That's I would normally do a little bit more aggressive. And the other thing I've recently purchased was this Hughes and Kettner little miniature amp. It does a really great job. I recorded a song with it not too long ago. And Hughes and Kettner is a very famous brand of guitar amps. one of the most famous people, another person from Rush. Just so happens I got two amp models that are from Rush, like Alex Lifeson, the guitarist for Rush for many years, used Hughes and Kettner for a long time, and then Hughes and Kettner just came out with this little, it's almost like a toy, but it does a great output. It will actually sound like a huge guitar amp. So that's just a basic idea of how I would put a song together. Sorry for the noise. And like put all those elements together, and then you can play around with them, shorten bits, add bits, take bits out. So it's just a primer on how to put together a song. So you just get your basic idea down, and then work on it, and then you come up with a bass line, and you come up with maybe a rhythm guitar behind it, electric guitar just to give it some punch, or you can also add in some maybe arpeggiated chords like something like that. Just add all kinds of layers. We don't want to add too many layers because then it gets hard to manage, and it can actually sound kind of crowded. It sounds almost noisy when you put too many layers on it. So just try to keep it manageable. Normally, at most, I'll do 6 to 8 layers. So there'll be the intro, then I'll have the rhythm and chorus will be on the same track using the acoustic guitar, and then I'll add in a bass, then I'll add in the chugging electric or an arpeggiated electric or both, and then you don't have to do it through the whole song. You could just add bits to accentuate different parts of your song, and then you have a little space for a solo, so you can add in like a, that's a different key, but you get the idea that you add in a solo whenever it fits in the song, and then after your solo you can fade it out. So you just have to layer it, and you have to give it a bit of thought. And that's why when I do demos, when I just write songs, I'll record it down on my DAW. Sometimes I'll just record it using my iPhone and record riffs, and if the riff sounds good, then I'll try to put it together into a song and just put it all together. So I mean, that's just a primer. Next time for next video, I'm going to do an actual track, pre-record it, and then I'll show you how I add in a bass using my actual bass and the Sans amp, and then I'll show you how I add in an actual electric rhythm and lead. So that'll be for another time. So thanks for joining me on Intune Guitar Academy for another session on songwriting, and keep practicing and have fun while you're doing it. See you next time.